Hi class, my name is Jerry Sigworth. I'm a campus pastor in St. Genevieve, Missouri, which is about an hour south of St. Louis. I've been here, my wife and I just moved here about 6 months ago, so we're fresh in this area. We recently just moved from Bartlesville, Oklahoma, where I was a youth pastor, and we were there for about 6 years, and so we had a great time there, but excited to see how God has moved us here to this small town in St. Genevieve, Missouri. So just wanted to introduce myself. Being a campus pastor, my wife and I, we basically oversee everything from children's ministry, youth ministry, worship ministry, and I preach, and we have men's and women's ministries and small groups. And so being a small church of about 70 to 80 people, we're basically over everything. So it's a lot of fun. It's really new. After coming from a large church in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, to this smaller church, it's a lot of just new things for us, but it's been a blessing. We really enjoy this community. Part of my role is, since I'm a campus pastor, we have another campus that's larger, about 30 minutes north of us, and our senior pastor is there, along with our youth pastor and children's pastor, and also a worship pastor. And kind of how it works is they help kind of provide the foundation and the support for us to exist. So we are, since we're a campus, we don't have our own building. Basically, our church fits in the back of my SUV. We're a mobile church, and so we meet in a community center, which is actually a lot of fun. We've really enjoyed it. It's different. And so we've actually done service in a few different areas because of the community center being reserved, and so you have to be creative and find new places to meet. But the great thing for us as being a campus is we have the support of the larger campus. So when it comes to a lot of the details and the structure and the vision, we just kind of are able to ride off of the curtails of that, which allows us to just really focus on ministry, to focus on reaching people without having to work on all the nuances and logistics of what it means to be a church. And so that actually creates a lot of freedom for us. Also, being a part of a campus that's mobile, it does have its ups and downs. I mean, every week we have to set up every single microphone and every single wire we set up. So that's a little taxing at times, but the blessing of it all is, since we don't have a building of our own, we actually are very, very low in our overhead costs. And so when it comes to light bulbs and cleaning and setting up, we actually have an amazing community center here that has a full facility with a full crew and full staff that basically do all that for us. And so again, kind of our setup right now, it's really unique, but it allows us just to focus on ministry. We do a lot of in-house ministry. So my wife and I host small groups in our house. We also have worship practice in our house. There's a lot of small groups that occur in other people's houses. And so there are a lot of intimate settings, and that's just how the culture works here. A lot of this class was asking about the sanctuary aesthetics and the set design and distinctive architecture and furniture and altar. And I was looking at just everything, baptism and pulpit. We recently just did a baptism, and we went to the pool of the community center, and we did baptism over. It's if you think of like a kiddie pool, there's water fountains that splash out and they fill a bucket, and that bucket then flips over. Well, one of our ladies, she was baptized underneath that bucket. And so, it's just, we do things very, very differently. We don't have an altar. I mean, our altar is just the front of the room. A communion table, we just have plates. We do decorate. We have some ladies in our church that decorated. They brought their own Christmas trees for Christmas, and then when we had, right now in the Easter season, we've had some who have brought other kind of decorations, and we set them up, and so we do it all the day of. Our service time, we're at 1 hour of service, and we also do our children's ministry, do that. during that time. Technology-wise, we try to keep everything as simple as possible. So we have a computer, we have a Mac that's hooked up to a projector, but we try to keep everything really, really, really simple as possible. And if we're singing a song or whatever, we do have the lyrics on the screen. But since the projector is not really high quality, we can't do high definition graphics. But with all that said, like the last church I was with was 700-800 people each week. High production, a lot of costs. We were running a youth ministry of 70 to 100 students at times. And so again, high production, high cost, and all those different things. And actually moving here, it's actually been a big relief, because a lot of the logistics and the framework of church and the building and maintaining and making sure everything is set up, we actually don't have a lot of that, which is a blessing. We have other struggles, of course. We have to reserve and make sure everything's set ahead of time. But we have a community here that's very flexible, and they realize that we don't have a building, so people expect to be mobile, which doesn't happen all the time, to relocate. But anyways, so our ministry here is, we have the blessing of just focusing on ministry, and that helps us to really reach people, to develop relationships, and it's a lot of fun for my wife and I, so we enjoy it. So excited to hear from all of you. God bless you, and we'll see you in the discussion boards.